A lot of people are saying or asking, is JayZ next? Again, Sister Jaguar Wright been talking about this. Jaguar Wright says Diddy better start snitching. JayZ is next, calls out celebs who supported.
It sounds like you're referring to a complex situation where JayZ, a major figure in the hip-hop world, might be caught between loyalty to his longtime friend and collaborator, Diddy, and doing what's morally or ethically right. This kind of scenario often plays out in the entertainment industry, where personal relationships can sometimes clash with business decisions, moral boundaries, or...
I think it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to take JayZ down. Just because I think he's really in deep with the people above him. So I think like they really gonna try to protect them as much as they can. But boy, this brother is connected to a lot. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Remember when JayZ and Diddy were inseparable? They were the ultimate power duo in hip-hop, ruling the music world together. Their bond went beyond friendship. It was like family. Back in the day, you couldn't think of one without the other. They were partners in building their empires, making big moves, and shaping the culture. Both started from humble beginnings, hustling hard to make a name. They sold CDs out of their car trunks and worked their way to the top. Now, JayZ runs Roc Nation, and Diddy owns Bad Boy Records. But their success wasn't just about music. They built businesses, brands, and legacies. And let's not forget their legendary parties. Diddy's white parties in the Hamptons or those lavish New Year's Eve yacht parties became iconic. These weren't just parties. They were major events in hip-hop culture. What made their relationship stand out was the way they supported each other. When JayZ needed advice, Diddy was there. When Diddy wanted to expand beyond music, Jay helped him. They weren't just business partners. They were true friends, always looking out for each other as they both grew their empires.
So what are your thoughts on all the his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, this is false, and you know,
liars.
They were saying, yeah, should they speak up now? Should they speak up now?
I think it's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. For the victims who have been too afraid to come forward because the diddler has been running around with impunity.
The diddler.
It's time for all of the victims to come forward. But for the people that have been denying it, you know what? Let's not be coy. You know, I am Jaguar. So let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bean. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
I mean, you're hitting it on.
JayZ should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Off of Justin Bieber alone.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together in an interview.
Yeah, I know. Two Diddy doo-wop bops. What a reunion. Only thing they got
Now,
will Diddy start snitching?
She threw it up. Yeah,
he better. He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is...
So, I know what she's saying, like, Diddy, again, this is all on if he make it to trial, but probably in order for him to get less time, he's going to have to take down a lot of people with him. That's the main reason why I said I don't know if it's gonna make it to trial. You know, because if Diddy talks, ooh-wee. Oh, unless he's like just done, unless he's like, you know, I can't do no 20 years in jail. You know, like if they say, you know, we're gonna give you 30 years. If you talk, we give you 20. I don't know. I can't do no 20 years. I ain't gonna say nothing. I already know what she about to say.
Everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and JayZ down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
The age.
I would say, if those who don't know who Kathy is.
Kathy Coriana White, JayZ's pregnant mistress.
Yes.
Who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby. While he was married to Beyonce.
The streets couldn't stop talking about the cracks in JayZ and Diddy's friendship. At first, it was small stuff. Jay skipping one of Diddy's parties, Diddy not showing up for Jay's latest project. Both played it cool, but the tension was real, and people noticed. The vibe shifted. Whenever they were in the same room, and their crews started taking sides, rumors spread fast. What's really going on? Then came the moment that changed everything. Whatever happened, it was enough to break their bond completely. Now, the streets are buzzing with theories. But one thing is clear. This wasn't just a small argument. The fallout is deeper and more complicated than anyone could have guessed. This is just the start of a story that might rewrite everything we thought we knew about loyalty and power in hip-hop.
Was it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
Do you feel the federal government will probably speak to JayZ in regards?
They already have.
Oh.
They talked to him before he made that Super Bowl announcement. Isn't that interesting? He was questioned by the feds before he made the Super Bowl announcement. Blink twice.
Oh. I still haven't seen that movie.
Oh, this about to get fun for me.
See?
Let me ask.
There's nothing like, have you ever seen what happens to a rat when it's trapped in a heated environment?
Oh, it'll eat through anything.
Claw eat its way through anything. So I want y'all to imagine this. I got JayZ on his back with his stomach exposed. Diddy is the rat that I'm using.
Oh.
And I'm gonna take a metal trash can and put it right on JayZ's stomach with Diddy right in there. And I'm gonna heat that bitch up and see what he eat through. Fuck you, Sean. Both of y'all. I got you, bitch. I told you.
As the U.S. attorney came on and spoke on the indictment, next to him you see 6 U.S. AUSAs, his assistant attorneys. I believe 1 pregnant, 1 a little older, but all white women. What are your thoughts on that when you see 6 women assisting the U.S. attorney?
A small choruses of Nancy Graces?
Basically.
I think it's fabulous.
Yeah. Needed.
Oh, that
Sean
video.
P. Combs, he's a bad guy. Can't wait to see it.
You might think you know all about JayZ and Diddy's fallout, but the streets are buzzing with something so scandalous, it'll leave you shocked. What if the real reason behind their beef is something no one saw coming? Hold tight, because this story is about to get wild. It all started at that infamous club night in Miami. Music blasting, bottles popping, and the who's who of the industry in the building. Jay and Diddy walked in like kings, but the vibe was off, and the tension between them was thick. Then, things took a turn, sources say. Diddy got into a heated argument with one of Jay's people. Words were exchanged, threats were made, and before anyone could react, fists started flying. The club was on edge, and from that moment on, everything spiraled out of control.
I know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and JayZ are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
JayZ has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been...
Damn. Now, she goes in a little deeper. Here it is, 1150, where she specifically calls them out again.
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims...
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
Diddy's camp is telling a completely different story. An industry insider close to Diddy claims it was all just a big misunderstanding. According to them, Jay overreacted to a harmless joke, and things spiraled from there. They say Jay was the one who started the drama. So who's telling the truth? Figuring it out is harder than solving a Rubik's Cube in the dark. The timeline of events is messier than a toddler eating spaghetti. One minute they're toasting to success, and the next, they're at each other's throats. And don't even get me started on what happened after they left the club. The streets are saying there was a confrontation so intense it made their public. Beef looked like child's play. But here's the kicker. Amidst all this chaos, JayZ made a move that shocked everyone. Instead of keeping quiet and handling things behind closed doors like usual, he chose to speak up. Word on the street is he couldn't stay silent anymore. Something Diddy did cross the line, and Jay wasn't about to let it slide in a move that left the whole hip-hop world shook. JayZ decided to snitch on Diddy. Can you believe it? The man who once rapped about never talking to cops was now ready to spill all the tea. It wasn't just about their personal beef anymore. This was bigger than that. But honey, if you think this is where the story ends, think again. This is just the beginning of a scandal that's about to rock the music industry to its core. The fallout from Jay's decision? Oh, child. It's messier than a food fight at a 5-star restaurant.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
It's true. Judy Garland's a lot of stories coming out about how awful she had to deal with things back in the day.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
JayZ and Beyonce is who she just named.
They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Dude, that's either super stupid of her or super gutsy, Lewis. It's hard to sort of tell what's going on there, but those are some fierce words coming in from Jaguar Wright. What are your reactions there?
Scary. I hope none of this is true, but we'll wait and see. I think she brought up an excellent point, because we tend to always vilify social media. And I didn't mention this during the show while we were live, but social media could do some good. It could elevate people's voice and give a voice to people that wouldn't have a voice in the past and stuff. So, and then, you know, I don't know if you're going to run it, but after this, a lawyer suggested she does get a lawyer up and stuff. And I don't know this lady. I haven't followed her. I don't know. Her body language seems to indicate that she's sure of what she says. But then there's a few instances where it looks kind of like an act. So I'm on the fence there, as far as maybe there's some truth and maybe there's some not truth.
Well, Vlad TV came on after and pretty much just completely negated everything.
Well, Jaguar Wright is known to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't really co-sign anything that she says. I've never had her on my show, and I don't have any plans to have her on my show.
You don't believe her?
She got an album in 20 years, and a lot of this stuff is just stuff she's heard, things she's making up, and so forth. I'm not saying that there aren't serious things that Diddy may have done, but yeah, I can't co-sign anything that Jaguar Wright is saying. Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's saying that he may have done. Dude, this dude, it was weird because I've never had an issue with Vlad. I guess didn't pay attention enough, but it's pretty much signing for Diddy the whole time and just completely calls out Jaguar, but then goes ahead and makes his own conspiratorial sort of thoughts, as Lewis and I noticed throughout it. It was pretty shocking. So, and then yes, this is the lawyer. I don't have her name, but she came on. She was wonderful. She called them both. She called Vlad a culture vulture, and she called for what he's done to black artists. And she said Jaguar needs to get a lawyer to be careful. She's the same one that says she's seen the tape with the high-level celebrity, which she told Pierce is shockingly higher than Diddy, bigger. And Pierce was kind of, wow, really? They're now talking about, are they going to be able to buy that tape? It was a little confusing, but the full Pierce Morgan's there available for you to check out. But these aren't the only names coming out. I wanted to take a moment to focus on this Ashton Kutcher article that just dropped while we were live as well, which he's apparently not on the Fed's radar in the Diddy case, contrary to news reports. Really, Ashton, huh? Now, reports were saying he was concerned about getting dragged into the case, but federal investigators do not have him in their crosshairs, TMZ has learned. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of the Diddy probe tell TMZ Ashton is in no way a target of the federal criminal investigation, including Diddy. I'm sorry, excuse me? Since when do the feds tell TMZ who's in and who's not? This is such BS. Such BS. He's been so nervous putting it out there. Oh, Diddy's going to leak something that's not true. He's so preemptively now trying, and this is now an additional piece. And I'm like, are you actually hiding something, brother? A source close to Ashton tells TMZ, Ashton, that's what it at least seems to me, that this narrative has got to stop. Ashton has nothing to do with this. Zero involvement, zero knowledge of these Diddy activities. Ashton, like everyone else in Hollywood, attended a Diddy party 20 years ago.
Girl, let me tell you, JayZ was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Imagine finding out your best friend was involved in some really messy stuff. What would you do? That's exactly what Jay was dealing with, and it wasn't easy. JayZ, a man who built his empire on loyalty and honesty, had to make a choice that could change everything. On one hand, he had years of friendship with Diddy. They made millions together and always had each other's backs. But on the other hand, something didn't feel right. There was a feeling that something was off, and speaking out could cost him friends, business partners, and even fans.